How much can you really prepare for the future?
Tell me more.
How much can you really prepare for the future? This is an all-important question because, to put it nicely, we live in some really weird times. This encompasses everything from technology to politics, culture, and society. It is impossible to predict the future. And despite our best efforts to forecast trends and figure out where things are going, the majority remains a giant unknown. I'm CJ, writer, coach, podcaster, and sometimes really nice guy. And I'm here to talk with you today about what it means to stop trying to future-proof and instead create the future that you want. It is in our nature as people to want to be ready for what's to come. For most of us, if we could plot the trajectory of our lives neatly, we would. Unfortunately, life just doesn't work that way. As a hedge against the what-ifs of life, there is a temptation to try to future-proof ourselves. You know what I'm talking about. It is the meticulous planning. It's the 5-year outlooks. It is the eating right and trying to exercise. It's pouring our time and our energy into mastering new skills and optimizing our health and researching everything that we possibly can to dot all of our I's and cross all of the T's and to hopefully keep us from falling susceptible to the various winds and waves of life that come crashing down. Future-proofing sounds wise on paper, but in reality, future-proofing is a mindset that is rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the what-ifs, fear of eventualities, fear that if we don't make the right decisions and have everything stacked in just the right way, then we will not be okay. But fear makes us irrational. Fear keeps us stuck in the what if. Fear leads to anxiety because we don't know what the future holds, and therefore we don't know how to act and how to move. And what fear does is it clouds our vision. Fear makes things foggy, and it's hard for us to move forward rationally when we can't see clearly. If your strategy is to proof yourself against the future, then you're already playing from behind. You're already stuck in a place where you are trying to figure out what's next. You're making an assumption that the future is something that just happens to you, that you are a passive bystander who has no say in what happens, but in reality, your future can often be what you create. It's the steps you take, the moves you make, it's who you choose to be and your decisions that will help craft your future. Sure, there are trends, and there are things that happen to us, and there are things that happen around us, things that are out of our control, but the future is not some passive eventuality that we just have to sit back and accept. If you are sitting by thinking that the future is just going to happen to you, then you're stuck in survival thinking. And so what you end up doing is you're just reaching and clawing and grabbing at anything. You're trying to learn the 30 AIs in 30 days, and you're trying to optimize every little bit. And yes, we can spot trends, but there's only so much that we can control. And there's only so much we can optimize, and there's only so much we can do. And if that is true, then how do we hold these two things in tension? This idea that the future is what you create, but also this idea that the future is coming and it is here, and there's only so much that we can take charge of. I think back to Y2K, the year 2000, where everyone was freaking out about the clocks being able to go from 1999 to 2000. How many people during that time could have predicted 25 years later what this world would be? A world with self-driving cars and digital connection and digital money. The internet in 2000 was not what it is today. This platform, this YouTube, did not even exist. I could not get my work to you without going through some traditional means. If you had told someone in 2000 that this would be where we are now, they would have looked at you like you have 10 heads. And yet, as we thought that the sky was falling and the world was crashing, people were trying their very best to optimize themselves, to have themselves ready, to plan for every eventuality. But who could have planned for this? Our computers were not designed to go from 1999 to 2000, and now all of us walk around with supercomputers in our back pockets. Trying to future-proof sounds good in theory, but it's also like trying to pick the right stock that's going to blow. It's hit or miss. It's like trying to pick Amazon in 2000. We just didn't know. I came across this great quote that says, "We're in a unique moment in human history where we're unsure what skills to teach our kids for the next 25 years." When I was in college, the emphasis was on learning to code. They said that if you wanted a future in any industry, you needed to learn how to code, and that is a skill that is now being done by AI. Learning to code feels like a waste of time when you can punch a couple of keys into your favorite LLM and boom, there it is. The world is changing rapidly, technology advances at light speed, and we are struggling to keep up. So might I suggest that instead of trying to future-proof yourself, you future create. Future creating is different. Future creating is active. It is an entire paradigm shift. It is calling you to reorient the way you look at life, the world, the future, what your hopes and prospects are. And it says slow down and breathe and learn the right things. Future proofing has you frantically reaching at everything that you can in the hopes that one of these things will work out. It has you like Doctor Strange in, what was that, Endgame or Infinity War, where he's sitting there and he's like, I'm going through all of the possible eventualities of how this can turn out. And it has you trying to go down every rabbit hole, just trying to grab at something. But future creating is sharp. It is focused. It is deliberate. Future creating is a mindset that says human choices shape the future. You get to decide on the crucial elements of your future life. You control what you can control. You can't control everything, and that is okay, but the choices you make will have a profound effect on who you will become. Life is not happenstance. It is not just some moment that happens to us. It is the product of who we are and what we choose to do, and most importantly, who we choose to be in this world. Future creating says that I can be a part of creating what comes next. You don't have to just sit by as a passive bystander in the ever-shifting landscape. You can harness your skills, your gifts, your expertise, and you can craft something. You can craft who you want to be and what you want to do. The future is more entrepreneurial. The future is going to look like taking those skills, gifts, and abilities and creating the need that fills the gap that you see in this world. My advice to people in their 20s who are not going to be doctors or lawyers or any of those fields that kind of have a straight line path is you spend your 20s collecting skills, experiences, people. You learn how to, as they say in the wrestling business, get over, meaning that you become a person that people like, that they love, that they enjoy working with, people that other people want to cheer for. And around the age of 30, I think it all comes together. And you realize, man, I can do this. I like this. I don't like this. I liked working in this environment. I didn't love that environment. And it all kind of coalesces to bring you to a place where you say, aha, I know what I want to do. I know who I want to be. And remember, because you got over, when people hear your name, they think, I want to help her. I want to be the person that is rooting for her. Man, I once had a guy say to me, CJ, I don't know what you're going to do next, but I know I want to be in that business. How can I support you? How can I open doors for you? How can I leverage my gifts and my contacts to help you? That is who you want to be. That is the impact that you want to have on people when they hear your name. Future creating says I'm not just responding to trends, I'm building them. Now, admittedly, this one is a little bit more difficult. Not everyone is a trendsetter, and that's okay. What it is, though, is it's a call to be proactive. It is a call to look out at the world in front of you and say, where can I take charge? It's also a call to be a little more studious, to be a little more curious about the world around you. Read a lot, read widely, pay attention to what's happening in the world, in your industry and outside of your industry. Spot where things are going. And perhaps maybe you can ride that wave. And perhaps you can see when it's starting to cool and jump off when you need to. Future creating is a call to have just a little bit of foresight, to be able to spot what might be coming up next. You don't necessarily have to set the trend, but can you start to notice the ebbs and flows and ride the waves? Who are the future creators? It's not just the people who create content. It's the leaders who redesign company structures to maximize human flourishing. They view their workforce as complete individuals in need of more than just a paycheck. They recognize how power dynamics and outdated authority structures may not serve the organization best. Future creators are individuals who reskill before they're forced to. They don't wait for the industry to die or shift around them. Instead, they are constant learners whose lives are marked by an insatiable curiosity. They learn new skills and gain new experiences, even the ones that feel unrelated today, because they may be exactly what you need tomorrow. Future creators are communities that build local economies independent of global fragility. If I could make one prediction, it is that our hyper globalization that we exist in is going to pare down. The bubble's going to burst, and we're eventually going to have to learn how to be a little bit more local again. The internet's not going away. This ability of mine to reach potentially billions of people around the world will not change. But I think that the partnerships we nourish, the relationships we nourish, are going to start to be a little bit more local to us. I'm no economist. I'm no Nostradamus. It's just a hunch that I have. Life as it stands feels unsustainable. From our business relationships to how we process our food, I think we're all gonna have to learn how to live just a little bit more locally again. The future belongs to the creators and not the protectors. So my question for you is, what are you building? As you sit and you look at your life right here, right now, and you think about 25 years from now, who are you? Who are you going to be? What are you going to do? In a time and place where nothing seems certain, what skills can you build? Can you learn today that will carry you into the future? I think there are 3 in particular that we're going to need. Emotional intelligence. We are more connected than we have ever been, and yet the rate of loneliness is the highest it has ever been. People are starving for connection. They're yearning for it now more than ever. And if you can be the person who understands people, then you are setting yourself up for a win. Contentment. This isn't about a poverty mindset. Not at all. This is about learning to live with life as you have it. To not chase every toy and every trend, but to look at what you have and what you've built and the love that exists around you and say, this is enough. I think the downfall of a lot of who we have been is the direct result of us having a lack of contentment. I always say that I think we're too young as a nation. When you look at a lot of our European sisters and brothers and how in France they take the whole month of August off, or in Italy, lunch is a 2-hour affair and dinner is a 4-hour affair. We still think, and when I say we, I'm talking Americans because we're such a young nation, that happiness and joy is found in having more than the person next to you. And what we are going to find over the next 25 years, as things compress, as the social contracts, as I've talked about so many times, have been broken, that if we can't learn to be content with where we are and what we have, and that is not to say, don't have ambition or want to pursue more, but if you can't learn joy, within the contours of the life that you have, it's going to be a rough season. The third thing we need to learn is curiosity. The day you stop learning is the day you die. And I know that might feel hyperbolic, but this is critical. In the ever-shifting markets that we are experiencing, it is going to demand people who are flexible and adaptable. These are the people who are the most curious. The people who read things that don't pertain to them, who listen to stories that have nothing to do with their own, people who find inspiration within the most random things. It's these people, the most curious minds. They are the ones who approach problems through the lens of just multiple vantage points because they have so much to draw on, so many different experiences, so many different books that they've read and videos they've watched and things that they took a random interest in that they will find gives them transferable skills and knowledge bases on which to draw from. Those curious people are going to be the problem solvers of the future. If you were creating your future, instead of just trying to proof yourself against it, what would you do differently this week? What skill would you be trying to learn? What thing might you be trying to engage in that your future self will thank you for? You, 10 years from now, is going to look back on this day and this moment. What will they say thank you to you for? Or are you sitting back and just letting life come at you? Are you choosing to resign yourself to some form of passivity because you say, CJ, it's all too much and I don't know where to start and quite frankly, I don't want to. And I say, okay, let me know how that works out for you because the future is coming whether you want it to or not. And the question is, are you going to be the person that you want to be? Are you going to exhibit the discipline that you need to become that person? Or you're just going to sit back and wallow? Sit back and let life do what it does. I don't know. I could be wrong about everything because what do I know? I'm just some guy from Brooklyn.